Hello, and welcome back. We actually are finally done with this KvK, and I just recorded this entire video without sound, so I'm doing it again. Oh man, guys, my brain is wiped. We have had a gruesome KvK. I set some personal bests, but we're gonna dive into kind of how I did and the commanders I used and which commanders performed the best, and overall my thoughts and conclusions from this KvK. So, hope you enjoy. Let's get into it. Okay, and as I mentioned in the intro to this video, I recorded everything the first time thinking that you guys would get to see it, and it turns out that I was muted the entire time. Great. So I won't have that footage of me basically opening all my rewards, but if we go into here, I'll just walk you through it. We have the Coalition rank number 1, which we had 7. This was a really crazy last 50 minutes, and I kind of probably should have streamed it. Basically, myself and Kronos put up about 60,000 honor in the last day, and it was unbelievably taxing. So Kronos, shout out to you, man. I had 7 marches, so I had a slight advantage there, which is kind of why I pulled through, but my goodness. In hindsight, I don't really know if it was worth it. I ended up running out of action point potions, and I spent about, I think, 9,000 gems for this. So, I don't know. When you think about it that way, 9,000 gems to secure rank 2, I would pay 9,000 gems for 2 legendary materials and 5 gold heads, right? It's better than VIP shop value, and then you're getting a bunch of rewards with the barbarians anyway. In hindsight, it's like not the worst. But even still, if you go into my bags right now, I mean, I literally have nothing. Look at that. I have 1 and 1. Oh man, it was draining. Okay, so anyway, I barb chained all KvK long until this final day where I was like, all right, I'm gonna secure rank 2. So I've got a bunch of AP. Let's use it. And I planned it out to where I was being efficient enough with the KvK that I had going in to where I could place. Anyway, really fun. This was our coalition rank. We had a really active coalition, so we came in first. And then the last thing I had was I had this great thing where I basically looted all the rewards here. I'm not going to go back and play it now because for whatever reason when I do the recording, the quality gets really bad. But I received every single individual reward. Obviously, I got the 30 million kills, and yeah, it was good. We obviously split the reward with our campmates so that we didn't get, you know, the 4 RCFs captured at the end or whatever that is. But anyway, as far as the rewards go, it was great. Obviously, it's one of the best times in the game is when you just finish up a KvK and you just get to reap all the rewards, and it's awesome. So when we go into the inscription shop, I already bought my hunter inscription. I know that maybe destructive is the new way to go, but I really just don't like rage reduction. Look, 3% more normal attack damage. If you think about the new commanders that are coming out with smite damage, this is technically just 3.5% all damage with a rage reduction. Like I wouldn't even spend 100 rage to increase my normal attack damage by 70% if it was on every turn. I don't know. I really don't like this inscription. I would almost just prefer like 3.5% health. So this is a really weird one. Obviously, it requires some testing. I'm sure it's good. I'm sure Lilith knows what they're doing. But regardless, it is a little weird. Like being behind in a skill cycle in a duel or anything of that nature is just tough. So when we go into this shop, this is one thing I didn't buy, which is nice. Thank you to me, I guess. But I'll probably just get the 2 weapons, I think. The only things I don't have are these, and honestly, I don't think I'm going to ever get them. I've got the full archer sets, and assuming that they don't bring out any more gear, then yeah, I'm just gonna keep what I have. So I'm gonna buy the 2 weapons, like that, boom, and boom. So there's one thing that I bought for you guys. So now that we have that over with, we're just gonna go into the new feature here, which is called the season retrospect. So I've never seen one of these before. I imagine it's kind of like the anniversary or year in reviews thing, but regardless, let's dive into it. So a glorious path. So apparently I've only participated in KvK one time. Great. And this is awesome. So I was the highest kill point governor in the entire KvK, which is really cool. I killed 128 almost million troops. And apparently on August 24th, I think that was our past 7 opening, I killed 35 million troops. So obviously that was a really big fighting day. But this is really cool. I'm really proud of this. This is a new record for me. And honestly, the kingdom as a whole did great, but we're going to see those stats later too. So this is also pretty crazy. The units healed. God, that's weird to think about. 42 million units healed. Oh, the amount of resources that I went through clearly is more than everybody else. So I healed more than any other governor in the game in the KvK. It was tough. It was tough. But the good thing that I can see about this is you can actually see my kills to heal ratio, so you can track your exact KD, or kill to death ratio. My last KvK and my KvK 5 breakdown, you actually notice that I think the calculations came out to like 3.74 KD. This KvK is a little bit worse. It's more like a 3.0 KD. However, I do end up having I did end up having harder opponents this KvK, so it kind of makes sense. I did buy Crystal Tech though, so I was walking around with a little bit more punch, and that obviously helped. And this is all my barb chaining. So I did 53,818 barbarian kills, which is absolutely wild. When I see that number, is that correct? That's crazy to me. And then I did 300 barb forts. So I don't really like to do forts in KvK because the value is just not nearly as good as barbarian chaining. I tried to do 1 a day so that I could get my little whatever it's called, the daily quest finished for the Lucerne scrolls for your crystal quests. But outside of that, I just did them like the bare minimum for some events and things like that. This is pretty cool. So shout out to OWR, right, which is my alliance. We were number 1 in the Lost Kingdom. This is just something about flags. Great. Not very important. We won, so we burnt more than we, I guess, got burnt. I don't know. And then obviously, since we are in a B seed and it's a 1 alliance KvK or kingdom per se, we were number 1 in the Lost Kingdom. We were really competing with 1981 for this. They were obviously really, really cool and really great about Diplo and all that good stuff. They were really good allies as well. They dominated Wind Camp pretty much the entire time, along with the other members of Water Camp. And so you can obviously see that we had the most healed, and surprisingly, your kingdom units were killed, so we lost not that many troops compared to other units. The only reason why I think this is number 7 is because we probably did some zone invasions, and there were a bunch of farms with a bunch of T1 to tier 3 or T4 that probably just got swarmed and zeroed once the passes came unsealed. And that's the one thing that I don't like about this whole season in review. I do think it's great. I think it's awesome. However, there's no way to tell on this. Like, I know for a fact that T1 kills count here. 127, like, this could be all T1 for all you know, and I'm just a big phony. But obviously not. But I think that, like, if someone wanted to get some crazy screenshot of like 127 million, or sorry, let's just say, I don't know, 1 billion kills in a KvK, but it was all T1, like, they could technically do that. Okay, anyway, that's the review of the book. Really cool thing. I like that a lot. Now, the next thing I want to go into is what was my best commander pairing this KvK. And last KvK, my KvK 5 breakdown, which I'll have a link up above me, but my last KvK, my Guan with Skippy was my best performing March. Yes, even better than Nevsky Joan. And obviously my gear isn't on my Guan right now, but this was the gear I'd be using. So that just goes to show you how powerful Guan will skip. I'm kind of glad that they're bringing that combo back with the addition of the new commander, because we'll have the new commander paired with Sargon, assuming that's how things line up. But this time, I used Guan with Sargon, and that did significantly worse than Guan with Skippy. I'm not saying Guan with Sargon was bad. It did pretty well, but I had about 24 million kills last KvK with my Guan and Skippy, and I had 21 million kills with my Guan and Sargon. And overall, I had like 1.2 billion less KP last KvK. So you can see the work that Guan Skippy did for me last KvK compared to this KvK. But the tried and true Nevsky Joan was by far my strongest March. I had a total of 34 million kills gained on my Nevsky and Joan combined. So about I don't know, what is that, 17 million for each march, or for each commander per se. And basically this combo is crazy. You know, when people are saying, oh, do Huo with Nevsky or Huo with Joan, no, just keep the Nevsky Joan together. They're obviously correct. And then I used my Boudica Waishi and my Zhuge Liang with Thutmose, and they did fine. They both got about the same amount of kills. I will say, this is my first KvK using Zhuge Liang, obviously really good. So I got about 24, you just multiply this number by 2, right? Because I paired it with Thutmose. So 24 million kills with Zhuge Liang with Thutmose. And yeah, anyway, I think it was really cool. I have a bunch of gear to craft still, because I'm kind of waiting for this gear update to come out. So I will be able to kind of pimp out my ride before next KvK, and it'll be really fun. But regardless, I was really impressed with Nevsky Joan this KvK. It did super well. And yeah, I think overall, man, this KvK, I really poured everything I had into it. I ended this KvK with 0 resources in my bag. Okay, I had a little bit to drink, and I was like, all right, you know what, I'm going all in. And I just went boop, max, and I spammed this max button right here. And that's why you see it that I have so many open resources. I also had a friend help me out because I'm pushing Zenith. But regardless, I think that I really went all in that I could for this KvK, and it was a blast. It was really draining. God, was it draining. Barb chaining 24/7, doing all that stuff. It's also kind of the reason why I haven't had as many videos out for you guys. You would think that being in KvK there's a lot more content, and there is, but if I want to actually enjoy the content, I'm not making videos about it. I'm not saying that I can't enjoy making a video, but essentially, would I rather barb chain and fight in the field, or would I rather make a video on how my kingdom needs me, so I'm gonna be there, right? And especially in the barb chaining thing, I'm not a mega whale. When I think of a mega whale, at least I think of gold chests every day. I think of all this stuff. I think of maxing the crystal tech by past 7, and that's just not me, right? I didn't buy the daily crystals. I just bought the Mountain Warfares, but then I barb chained for the rest of that, and so to save a little bit of money, I was going and barb chaining. And if you actually look at my profile here, which is pretty funny, this is how I feel. This is my mentality, right? Even though I probably could go and better myself, I prefer to barb chain. And anyway, but I always think that's pretty funny. So yeah, I dedicated a lot that I had to this KvK. I think that in the future, right, my goal is to always improve. I only fought with 6 marches, so hopefully I get that 7th one online. And yeah, regardless, proud of where I am, and proud of my kingdom, and proud of how we did. So lastly, just to wrap things up, I think that I wanted to say I've got a few videos coming out. I still need to do my Huku Bin guide. I know it's been forever. And, at this point, he's like an old commander because we got the new infantry coming out. But I still got that to make. I'm going to be pushing Zenith, so that'll be really fun. I'll make a video out of that and or do a stream. And then lastly, I'm going to do all the testing with that new commander. So please, if you haven't already, like and sub to the channel. I just became monetized, so thank you guys for all your love and support. I really didn't think that it would be that easy. Not that it was super easy, but just goes to show that the content's interesting, and I know that maybe the mic could be a little bit better and the quality could be a little bit better, but I thank you guys for sticking with me through all that good stuff. So anyway, be on the lookout for some new videos coming in the future. I hope you guys enjoyed this little bit of KvK breakdown. I'll have a KvK breakdown for the next one, as well as a general account overview before I go into my next big battle, so you guys are up to date with my account. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.